Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a couple moments of your time here to discuss some of the functionality that's available to you in Microsoft Word products. The reason why I typically don't post a lot of videos to the discussion thread is I understand that many of you have limited access to internet. And what I mean by limited access is those of you in the rural areas have exorbitant download times based on the broad bandwidth that's available to you. With that being said, I'd like to go ahead and move into how we can manipulate Microsoft Word documents in order to catch most of the stylistic mistakes that students make when writing APA and MLA papers. With that being said, regardless if you're using 2007, 2010, 13, or even 2016, the process we're about ready to go through will work for all of those different versions. So what I want you to do is look at the different tab selections that are across the top of Microsoft Word, and I want you to left click on the Review tab. Once you've left clicked on the Review tab, you'll notice a change in your ribbon. And what I want you to do is look at the proofing section along the ribbon. Specifically at the spelling and grammar. If I were to guess, I'd say you're all quite familiar with the spelling and grammar selection. And as you know, when you left click on that, it'll go through your Word document and look for spelling mistakes as well as some extremely basic grammar mistakes. Instead of left clicking, what I'd like you to do is right click on that. When you right click on it, you'll notice another pop-up that says customize the ribbon. I want you to left click on customize the ribbon. Once you've left clicked on customize the ribbon, you'll see the pop-up on your screen that you're viewing now in this video. And I want to draw your attention to the left pane of this pop-up, specifically the proofing selection. I'd like you to select proofing, and you'll notice the right side of the pop-up has now changed. And what you're looking at are the defaults for Microsoft Word spelling and grammar proofing. Uh, the first thing that I want you to take a quick look at is the section titled When Correcting Spelling in Microsoft Office Programs. Uh, the the first thing that it does is it ignores words in uppercase. Uh, if any of you have written full-fledged APA style papers, you understand that a running head, which is inclusive of the title of your work, has to be in all caps. So each and every time you select spell check, it has been ignoring the actual title within the running head of your paper. So as a matter of practice, I typically deselect that, so spell check will indeed check words in all caps. The next section I'd like you to take a look at is titled When Correcting Spelling and Grammar in Word. The vast majority of the selections appear set as the defaults are absolutely fine for me. What I want to draw your attention to is the settings button here. And what we're going to do is we're going to open that up just so you can take a quick look as to what the defaults actually are. So I've left clicked on that. And the first selection within that pop-up are requirements. And within that, comma required before last list item, it's set not to check that. You should shift that to always. And I say that because APA and MLA require a comma before the last list item. In regards to punctuation required with quotes, again, the default is don't check. For APA, the punctuation should be outside of your quote. And moving down to spaces required between sentences. Again, spell check is set up not to check that. So if you have extra spaces in your work, not enough spaces, the spell check function does not look at that. APA recommends 2 spaces between sentences. So now looking down into the grammar section, you'll notice that fragments, run-on sentences are not checked by spell check. I would want it to. It does not check negation, and it does not check subject-verb agreement. Continuing to scroll down using the scroll bar on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice that there is a selection for style. Now, what you're looking at here are instances that spell check is not currently looking for. And when we select these boxes going through here, you are now telling spell check to look for and notify you of all of the instances in your work that are not MLA or APA compliant. Hopefully, as I'm going through and making selections for all of these, you're noticing some information that would absolutely be beneficial to you, specifically requiring Microsoft Word spell check to notify you of passive sentences, to notify you of possessives and plurals, when you should have an apostrophe, when you should not. It'll notify you of if you're typing along and you're using contractions. In addition, split infinitives, ending sentences with prepositions, just about everything that your professor for Comp 1 and Comp 2 would deduct points on for stylistic mistakes. And as most of you know at this point, very similar things that I'm looking for in your CTAs and CRs. When I say looking for, unfortunately, I mean where points are deducted for grammar. So what I've done is I've selected all of those. I'm going to click OK. At this point, we've essentially manipulated Microsoft Word so that it is going to look at all grammar and style. But if you noticed as I was speaking, I went through and changed the pull down tab to grammar and style. So from this point, I'm going to select check document. I'm going to get the typical Word pop-up verifying that I do indeed want to make those changes. Yes, I do. And then now at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to select OK. Now, to summarize what we just did is we went through and we have told Microsoft Word, for lack of a better term, that when we select spelling and grammar now on our work, it is going to look for and notify us of any instances of the topics, the scenarios, everything that we just went through and selected. So when we do select spelling and grammar, if you happen to use a contraction, if you happen to use first person, spell check is going to put either a blue or a red squiggly line underneath it, and similar to spelling errors, it'll provide an option for you to change it to. Of course, you can't go through and just blindly accept all changes that Microsoft Word recommends, but this will absolutely, without question, catch the vast majority of mistakes, that stylistic mistakes that students tend to have difficulties with in regards to APA and MLA formatting. I sincerely hope that this little lesson on Microsoft Word capabilities helps you out in the remainder of this course and future courses that you have for writing assignments. Thanks for your